Yo, yo, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another podcast of Everything Horror. We're gonna be doing something a little bit different today. Paul and Tessa, they are here, but they are muted. Because this podcast is mine and Lamont's for the day. That's right. We are, conf, we're commandeering their podcast. This is our episode. We are here to talk about The Walking Dead. And this is a podcast that we've been wanting to do for a while now, but we haven't had the time and the free time to actually sit down and discuss what we think about The Walking Dead. So we are finally doing it today. I have my buddy Lamont right here with me. Lamont, say what's up.
What's up?
All right, so in this episode, guys, we're going to be talking about, I would like to talk about all the seasons of The Walking Dead so far, what everybody's thoughts are on it, get our likes and dislikes of the show, and not just that, but later on in the episode, we are going to be talking about not only the show, but the games, the Telltale games that everybody enjoys playing so much, and in that part of the show, Paul and Tessa will probably join us to discuss some of that with us. So let's get started. So so Lamont, The Walking Dead. What is your thoughts on The Walking Dead? How do you like it? Like, is it a show that you watch every single week? Is it a show that you're really excited about?
Oh yeah, I haven't missed a single episode, and if I did miss it, the night before, I
Mm-hmm.
catch it the very next day. I love that show.
Yeah, that show is extremely good. See, my favorite thing about what drove me towards The Walking Dead. Unfortunately, when The Walking Dead originally came out on TV, I was very skeptical about it. I was like, I'm not really gonna watch it. It doesn't look interesting. I don't want to waste my time and get drawn into another drama show and all this other nonsense. And so I didn't actually watch it for the longest time. And then it was on Netflix. They brought it on Netflix, and literally it was on Netflix for about, I want to say, a month and a half. I finally sat down. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to watch episode 1. And I watched episode 1 of The Walking Dead, and it was just the first episode just drove me to the show. Like, I was stuck. My eyes were glued to the thing. It was intense. The characters, with Rick being in a coma and all this other stuff, finding out that Shane was pretty much sleeping with his wife and all this other stuff. You didn't even think Rick was actually alive at first. You thought he was dead. So you thought the show was about, Shane and all these other characters, and you thought maybe Rick was just this guy that was here and now he's gonna come and he's dead. Like, you saw him get shot, you thought he was dead. So my favorite thing about it was the fact that the show literally, it was a great show at first, and it caught my eye, and I've watched every single episode, including I'm ready for the new season coming out in October. But my question to you, Lamont, is, with watching The Walking Dead, what is your favorite character of The Walking Dead?
I knew that question was coming.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard to say because even some of the ones that got killed off were
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's where it eats at me too, man. It eats at me. So
That's difficult to say.
you want me to let you think about that for a minute?
I mean, I'm gonna say it's between Michonne and Daryl. I know a lot of people like them, but
Right.
they're just really good characters.
Okay. So let me revamp the question a little bit for a second. What is your favorite character that? Okay, here's a question, because you just answered your question. You like Michonne and you like Daryl. Everybody likes Daryl. Here's my question to you. What is your favorite character that is deceased, that passed away?
Probably Abraham.
Probably Abraham. That was a good one. That's a good one. I actually enjoyed Abraham too a lot. I wouldn't say he was my favorite, but I want to say my favorite character alive still is probably gotta be um it's gotta be Jesus. I love
Oh,
Jesus.
he's good. He's
I
really
love
good.
Jesus. I love Jesus. Jesus is just he's just the man, you know what I mean? Everything about him is the man. Like he he literally tries to find a way to avoid any confrontation as possible. Like that is just who he is. Um and I enjoy him. I would say though, honestly, my favorite character that is deceased would probably have to be Herschel. I loved
Oh,
Herschel.
Herschel. I liked Herschel too.
I loved Herschel, man. Okay, okay. Here's a question for you. Here's a question for you guys. What was your favorite moments, like of what was your favorite moments of The Walking Dead in general? Like what's your favorite moment that you remember, like in The Walking Dead?
When they were, or you remember that part with the cannibals when they had them locked in that train car?
Oh
Was
yeah,
like
yeah,
one
yeah,
of the finales, and
yeah,
then
yeah.
that's when they first met like the some of the people they have now, and then Rick was like, "It's time to let them know that they're fucking with the wrong crew."
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love that
yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah. When like yeah, when the crew was when Abraham was it it wasn't Abraham. Yeah, it was Abraham and Glenn and all them. They were locked in the back of the thing, and then Michonne and Carl and Rick and I think Daryl, they all came and
Out of
they
the
threw him in the
shadows.
car. Yeah, and then just like at the end, like literally, here comes Glenn coming out. He's like, Rick, and he's like, and they're all hugging each other, and then it's like this moment, and next thing you know, like
Yeah.
he just gets intense, and he's like, they're fucking with the wrong people. Bam, season ends, and I'm like, no, dude, you know what I mean? Like, how are you gonna do that, man? That is so wrong. Um, I don't know. For me, I would have to say my favorite season or my favorite moment in general probably had to be um the moment when the governor died and he killed Herschel, because it showed Rick vulnerable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rick was beaten up, like to the point where he was in, I think he was sleeping for like days. He was like sleeping for days, and then it led off to Carl, him being with Carl, and you saw how stubborn Carl was being, and how arrogant he was. And then I think that was one of my favorite moments in The Walking Dead, because it, like I said, it showed a whole different side of Rick. It showed a whole different side of Rick, and like to know that, throughout the whole show, everybody thinks that Rick is this, macho man, badass person. He's Rick Grimes. He'll fuck anything up that walks in front of him. You know what I mean? That type of mentality. And then it showed you that, hey, he really is only human, because he got his ass whooped by the governor. You know what I mean? He got his ass whooped by the governor, and he just became this ginormous, he broken down human being, and he had to work from scratch, and everybody had to kind of go on their own way or on their own terms, because he wasn't in the mindset to actually lead the group and to be the leader that they needed. So
Yeah.
I think that was something that what was probably one of my favorite moments of the whole show. And it definitely it's definitely changed the show. It definitely changed the show, like at that time. Um
I
but
agree.
let's see. Okay, here's a question. What what do you think of, like, what do you think what do you think the relationship status is? Like, how do you like the relationship statuses between some of the characters? Like, you know how like Daryl Daryl at first, like, Daryl at first, he was like, he didn't care. He just wanted his brother. He just wanted to know that his brother was alive and all this other stuff. So Daryl wasn't at first. He was just like, I'm just here for my brother. And then like, you notice that like later on down the road, Rick and Daryl have like this like brother to brother relationship. And that, what is your thoughts on like those types of relationships? Because if you remember at the beginning, like Rick and Shane were close, and then then it turned out that Shane was sleeping with Rick's wife, and and then it turned out that he was so in love with Rick's wife, but Lori was sitting there trying to say, hey, look, this is my husband, I'm gonna stay with him. And like it was eating at Shane so much to where he like pretty much went into psycho mode and was like every episode, every chance he got, it was think about Lori and or try to kill Rick. So what is your thoughts about the relationship between some of these characters and the bonds that they have formed with one another?
I like how they didn't try to make the relationships forced, and like they progressed over time. Because not a lot of shows or movies like does it correctly like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But as far as these characters, yeah, I enjoy how they did it. I'm more interested to see how much it progresses later on down the road, as well, depending on how many more seasons we have.
Right.
Because I'm still trying to see what happens between Daryl and Carol, because we know there's something there, but it's going on 8 seasons now and nothing has happened.
Right. I definitely agree with that one. That is the relationship between Daryl and Carol. It's see, here's the thing with that situation. I don't know if it's more of a I don't think it's more of a in love thing. Really, honestly, truly, I really don't. I think it's Carol
A motherly
reminds.
thing.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. I think Carol reminds Daryl a lot about his actual mother, and how much of a loving person she was. So that's like the closest thing he's got to family. You know what I mean? He thinks of as family. So like you've noticed, like whenever Carol's disappeared or something, Daryl's always the one who's like, "Where is she? Where is she? Where is she?" He's like trying to go on this hunting rampage and killing spree just to find out where Carol is. And I think that those type of relationships are, and those types of character interactions are what made the show, or what makes the show as good as it is. I mean, you gotta think about it. Here the relationship between Maggie and Glenn, they were in love. Glenn was this nervous Asian kid that didn't know right from wrong. He had a good heart at the beginning, and he just fell in love with Maggie. Maggie's this country girl. She's this church folk girl where she was raised in a different way compared to the way Glenn was raised. And I thought that it was really cool that they were able to take two characters that have two totally different opposites from each other. They're completely opposites from each other, and make them fall in love throughout this whole zombie apocalypse. I thought that was amazing. And you, even later on down the road, I mean, to anybody that hasn't seen The Walking Dead, I'm sorry. I mean, there's probably going to be spoilers as we talk about this tonight. But even as the fact that even to the day that Glenn died, you know what I mean? It like literally it was just really cool. Like that was one relationship that like you as being a viewer never wanted to end. You know what I mean? Like that was just a love that you wanted to see stay on The Walking Dead. And then like I said, I was totally mind blown. The one relationship that totally blew my mind was the whole Rick and Michonne. That blew my mind, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, the whole time, like, at the beginning, Rick was just ready to... Everybody in the group was just ready to... Everybody in the group was just ready to kill her. You know what I mean? So it's like... they didn't want anything to do with her. And then next thing you know... Later on, like, as far as they went and what they've all endured together and what they've been through, to see Rick and Michonne become a thing, you know what I mean? And like Michonne's becoming like a mother, like, because you know she had like kids, she had a kid of her own before all this, and then like, you know, the kid died, or her child, she lost her child and her husband and all this other stuff, and for you to know that that throughout the time Michonne has become not only fallen in love with Rick, but she's become kind of like a motherly figure to Carl, you know what I mean? So and so it's like really cool to see that all these aspects of this show are starting to fall together. But I want to talk about this real quick, and because I really want to pick your brain with this one. What is, or not what is, who is your favorite villain?
I'd have to go with Shane.
You have to go with Shane? Okay, I can respect that. Honestly, I can respect that. But honestly, I wanted to see more of Shane. I want to know. Here's what I'm trying to say. I would want to know what would have happened if like Lori died, like she did, like Rick like told Shane to get the fuck lost and never to show up and all this other stuff, right? And then he goes away and he comes back, or he doesn't come back, but later on you find out Lori dies. They go this long time without seeing Shane, and then you find out that Lori dies. He finds out that Lori dies. And then it's just this feud, like Shane's got his group and Rick's got his group. You know what I mean? Like Shane versus Rick. You know what I mean? Like I want to know how it could have been with that. Like that's a really good one. Like those are like the what ifs that could have happened. You know what I mean? So it really stinks because I would have loved to see that more. You know what I mean? I thought that the whole Rick versus Shane thing was pretty cool throughout the whole time, because Shane had his way, his aspect of looking. Shane's aspect was, I'm gonna kill every motherfucker here, you know what I mean? And then Rick's like, you gotta talk about things, you know what I mean? Like he had his aspect where when Rick was mad, he could kill anything, and he'll do what it takes to keep the group together and alive. But at the same time, you know, at that time you had fucking Shane where, fuck everybody. It's all, you know, it's either you or, you know what I mean? It's either, you know, my way or the highway. It's like it's like kill or be killed. You know what I mean? So that's how I thought the situation. But honestly, favorite villain, probably hands down Negan. All I'm saying, hands down Negan. Negan by far. I don't care what anybody said.
He's the best one by far.
I don't care, by far. He is the best one. They even got the perfect actor playing him, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That man is a fucking legend all in itself. You know what I mean? Like he is phenomenal playing Negan, man. Like, dude, like the way Negan comes around, man, and he's just carrying Lucille all around, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't care what it is. I don't care how people look at it. That fucking first episode of season 7, or not, season 7, when you find out that Glenn died and you find out that Abraham died, like the way he beat their shit out of them with Lucille, dude, like that was crazy, bro. That was crazy. I could not get past that. Like I didn't know who. For some reason, I thought Eugene was the one that was going to get killed. Okay, here's a question. To you. Skip that ahead real quick. Who, at the end of season 6, when they all met Negan, okay?
Hmm.
Who did you think Negan popped? Honestly, truthfully, be 100% honest. Who did you really think Negan popped?
Off the bat, I was thinking Glenn, but then I thought it could have been Eugene because at first I was thinking it would have been too obvious to be Glenn like he did in the comics.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But here's my thing. And I don't know if you did this, but do you remember when the episode like you know how like when they're all lined up in front of him, right? Like I went on Google and I found a screenshot of the lineup that they had of Glenn or of Rick in the middle, all of how they were all lined up. I literally at the end of how they were doing the characters, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and then like the whole time when they're doing the camera thing, I literally went back and I tried to figure out who got popped. You know what I mean? I tried to go back. I was trying to, yeah, I was trying to memorize the spots and who was where and everything to see who got popped. And to be honest with you, when the beginning of season 7 started and they first showed Abraham getting popped, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. He took that shit like a champ, bro. What did he say? He said something. Oh yeah, he said, "Suck my nuts." Like, dog, you just got your face bashed in, dude. And your final reaction was not to say goodbye, everybody, was "suck my nuts." Like, that was epic, dude. I don't care, dude. But to be honest with you, I mean, I read the comics books a little bit. I'm actually, honestly, I was really upset that episode when Glenn died. I really was, because I enjoyed Glenn. I really did. I sucked. But I'm glad that they actually followed the actual comic books on killing such a major character in the show. You know,
For sure.
you know what I mean? It was really important to be like, you know, because I wouldn't, I didn't want, I'm glad that Glenn died that way. As much and shitty as that sucks and sounds, I'm glad that he actually died that way, because at the end of the day, you actually went back and you followed the comics. Like, it would have been sucky if like when they actually faked Glenn's death the first time and you thought that he was getting mutilated and eaten by the zombies. I was like, this is a gay way for him to fucking die. You know what I'm talking about? When him and what's his name? What was it? Josh or some shit was that dude's name? I think it was. They were on the dumpster and Josh like shot. Like, he thought that, like, he shot himself and he thought that he pulled both of them down, and Glenn's like sitting there crying, and you just see, I thought Glenn was just getting eaten alive, and I was like, oh my god, this is so gay. This is so gay. And then it turns out that you find out that he didn't get mutilated. He didn't get eaten. The Josh fell on top of him and they were eating him. So he pushed himself underneath the dumpster. So I thought that was, I'm just glad they finally killed him off. When they killed Glenn off, I'm glad they gave him the right way to go. Here's my thing. Let's talk about the season that just passed, okay? Like, let's just talk about season 7 for a minute. What was your thoughts, like, what is your thoughts about the whole season 7? Because there's so much to talk about. You got Negan, he's the new villain, and it shows you that this whole time Rick is Negan's bitch. I'm sorry to say this, but Rick is Negan's bitch. You know what I mean? And it's just like,
throughout this season up until the end, he definitely was.
He was Negan's bitch. And like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Carl was gonna be killed off. I really did. I mean, multiple times. I mean, every time he threatened him, you know, every time he had to put somebody in his place, Carl has faced death more than anybody else in that show. I don't care what they say. Like, Carl should have had his brains splattered all across the ground. Multiple chances, you know what I mean? That was multiple chances for him to die off. But he didn't. But okay, here's my thing. What was your favorite moments about season 7? There's a question. What favorite moments of season 7?
when they were making preparations to go to war, when they were recruiting everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
like, all right, yeah, because as much as I like Negan, I'm like, it's time for this fucker to go. Like he doing
Well,
too much.
apparently, what I'm hearing is this war that's supposed to be season 7, the end of season 7. It's supposed to be all of season 8. And I heard that Negan's really. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard Negan's not really supposed to die until mid of 9, like mid season of 9. Like that's
Yeah,
what I heard.
if they go by the comics and stuff, like he
Like
doesn't.
Negan's around for a while.
Yeah.
He's not just a one season we're gonna kill him off character. Like this is Jeffrey Dean Morgan you have playing him. You know what I mean? So, I would say my favorite like moment of season 7. Oh man, it's hard. There were so many. Oh, my favorite moment, I don't care what anybody says, is the moment when you met King Ezekiel, yo, with the lion or the tiger. The tiger, dog. Oh, dude, he was like, yo, dude, yo.
He's easily one of the best new characters they introduced.
Him, yeah, definitely new character. Him, man, dude. Okay, here's my question. Here's my question to you. Okay, we've all played GTA. What was your thoughts when you found out that Trevor was in the show? It's like, like I didn't know it. I didn't know it at first. Like I didn't know it. I was like, dude, that dude sounds so fucking familiar. And then I looked back and like one of the things, and like it was the thing when you met Trevor's character for the first time, and it was funny because everybody was like, "Oh shit, Trevor's in the show, blah blah blah," and I was like, "No way!" And I look at it, I was like, "Dude, that really is him." I was like, "Dude, he just went from GTA to this total badass in fucking The Walking Dead." And
I think if Trevor's character, like if he was a real character in that show, I think he would rip Negan apart.
Oh, dude, yeah. If he had his GTA mentality, oh, dude, Negan wouldn't stand a chance against Trevor. That's all I'm saying. I don't care. I don't even know what Trevor's real name is in the show, the character he plays, but he's Negan's pretty much right hand man.
Yep.
So, yeah. Okay, so what's your thoughts on Okay, so season 7, we see Glenn die. We see Abraham die. We see Sasha die at the end. Did anybody else die in season 7? Anybody else die?
I mean, some random characters, like from each faction, but I don't think any important characters.
Yeah, I mean, characters from the Kingdom passed away.
Some of Negan's
people passed away.
Some of the randoms in Rick's group.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of, especially when the town was raided near the end. A lot of people actually living in. Went.
People.
Oh yeah, dude. Talk about those junkyard people for a second. Let's talk about that zombie that was wearing all the armor. Holy shit, dude. That was fun.
He reminds me of that character from Borderlands, Hyperius the Inventor.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. No, he when I saw him for the first time, I was like, yo, they're bringing gladiator shit into the fucking Walking Dead right now. Like they threw Rick down there in that hole, dude, and he's just this zombie, man. They just like put this. It looked like they welded that shit onto that zombie, dude. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he was just wearing random shit. He looked like he was built in a laboratory, bro. You know what I mean? Like he was just this badass looking zombie wearing all this spiked uniform, looking like he's just coming out of a gladiator fight. Like that was crazy. And to talk about those junkyard people, man. At first, I thought it was like, dude, I was like, yo, man, I was like, they looked very sketchy. I was like, no, they're not gonna squad up with people like this to go against Negan. And then you find out that Negan turned around and offered them a better deal, and they turned on him. I was like, yep, okay, yep, you already know. And it was funny because Rick was like, oh, you knew it. He was like, bitch, you're dead. You're fucking dead. You're fucking dead, yo. Like at the end. But yeah, season 7's good. My personal problem, I'm gonna say this. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Walking Dead fanatic. I will always watch The Walking Dead. That is my favorite show on TV. Sorry guys, I'm reading yawn. That is my favorite show on TV, okay? I love that show. But one pet peeve about the show that I don't like is the fact that they're introducing a lot of drama into this show that's not necessary.
Yeah.
Like they are
dragging out certain stuff instead of getting to the point.
Like this point is it's The Walking Dead. It's a zombie apocalypse. I'm feeling like my problem with this right now is I feel like there's more drama than there are actual zombies on the show. You know what I mean? Like every episode, there's more drama. You might see fucking, unless it's a big ass battle, you might see 4 or 5 zombies slayed throughout the show. You know what I mean? That's it. It's not like you walk in this area, boom, oh shit, there's zombies over there, boom, and you just start start mauling over zombies. You know what I mean? It's just more like, we got to stick together, guys, or we got to get the supplies for Negan. And next thing you know, you only kill like 5 zombies. The next thing you know, the rest of the show is everybody's crying because Rick's Negan's bitch. You know what I mean? And all this other shit. And it's just like, it's shit that's like that type of stuff is pushing me away from the show. You know what I mean? Like that. Like, as much as I don't want to say that, I'm always going to watch it no matter what. But that stuff right there is what makes me not even want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to look forward to that every single time a new episode comes out. Yeah, it sucks, man. But let's talk about the final battle, though. Let's talk about the final battle episode of season 7, because season 7, the finale of season 7, like, that was crazy, dude. That was crazy because throughout the season, throughout the season finale of season 7, you had, like I said, you find that Negan, like Rick's doing all this. They're like, the group's like, we're recruiting people. We're taking on Negan's army. Boom. They go through all these trials and everything for certain people and for certain groups. And then you find out that at the end of season 7, you're like, oh yeah, guys, we're standing up for this. We're standing up. This is where it starts. And then you find out that the junkyard people turned on Rick, and then they're secretly work for Negan. And it's just like, oh my God, dude. And then the whole battle, like, and that was the cool thing is like, the kingdom, like I remember my favorite part of that episode was when Negan was about to kill Carl, and Zeke sicked his tiger on somebody, and Negan's kind of was, that's a fucking tiger. They were fucking tiger. Like he's just like, what the fuck, man? It's a fucking tiger. And like the cool thing is like I don't care, all the CGI that you had to do, dude. That tiger, you watch that tiger bite the shit out of that dude's neck. You know what I mean? Like when he came in like a badass, he like bit that tiger, man. He bit that dude. That tiger bit the fuck out of that dude. Like ripped his throat all the fuck up. That was crazy. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think The Walking Dead has a lot of potential. I really do. To everybody that's in here, to everybody that's like gonna listen to this podcast, the show has potential, but the show needs to understand that Scott Gimple and Greg Nicotera, they need to understand that this is a Walking Dead show. It's about zombies. It's about surviving the zombie apocalypse. I understand a lot of people out there have gotten so in depth with the characters. I respect that, because there's characters that I don't that I can't see go. You know what I mean? There's characters like, I mean, as much as Rick kind of pisses me off, I couldn't see him go. Like he's that's gonna kill The Walking Dead. Like if Daryl ever dies, that'll kill him. But there's small characters like that, like if they go like like Carol. If Carol was to go, yeah, Carol was the most mysterious bitch of them all. But at the end of the day, she had a good intention for everything she did. And like if she dies, how is that going to affect Daryl? You know what I mean? How is that going to affect Daryl? What does that mean of him? She's dead now. Um uh and she's dead now, and she's gonna, how does that affect Daryl, and how is he gonna react to that? You know what I mean? Like how's the aftermath of that gonna look? Is he gonna become this total badass and just go out on a killing spree? He gives zero fucks about anybody. Is that how that works out? Like that's what I want to know. How does that work out? And then you got and then you had recently Sasha. Sasha died. She killed herself in the in the coffin when Negan brought her to the fucking place. Like how is that? And you saw how that affected Rosita when she saw Sasha try to attack Negan. You know what I mean? So it's like all these things are coming together, and it's just like, okay, here's a question to you, Lamont. What do you want to see happen in season 8? That's my question. There's a question that I think, for us being true Walking Dead fans, anybody out there, like, definitely leave a comment. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are about this. What do you want to see happen in season 8?
Definitely I want to see some of Negan's hold on everything. Like I want to see it fall apart. Like he just has, like, if you remember the last little scenes of season 7, you see the army Rick put together, but then you see Negan's big ass army.
Yeah, it's humongous, dude. It's fucking humongous.
He has too much pull on pretty much everything around there. I need some of that to fall apart, because the way things stand out doesn't look like Rick and them could win. But something's gonna happen. We'll just have to wait and see what that is.
Right, and you know what? It's another thing. My thing, like I was saying before, or like you were actually, I'm losing my mind. Like you actually brought up. Can you imagine what will happen if, like, Negan's so focused on beating Rick and this little posse that Rick has, and like you were saying, I want to see Negan start to. I want to see Negan's people start to turn on Negan. You know what I mean? I want to see his armies fall apart, because Negan's like, I'm this badass person. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. And his philosophy is, there's got to be order. You know what I mean? And I think
people went to it.
Yeah, it's like they're not really there. They're not really there because they're not really there. They're just there because they don't have anything else to do. They don't have, you know what I mean? Like I would, what would be crazy is if fucking Stephen Ogg, that's the guy's name that played Trevor. Like Simon, that's his name, that's his character's name, Simon. Simon's his name. Can you imagine if Simon was to turn on Negan? Like that would be crazy. Like you have Simon, because Simon really hasn't done anything to harm Rick's group. He's really just he's just went around really and was like, I need to take this from you. You know what I mean? Like he's been collecting shit for Negan, you know what I mean? Trying to get there and fear people. Is like, hey, look, yeah, if you don't do this, then Negan's just gonna either iron your face or Lucille's gonna meet your fucking brains. Like that's pretty much all he's been doing, you know what I mean? So I think honestly, I would like to see Negan's people turn on him, because then if that happens, then it shows that Negan throughout this whole show, throughout the whole season 7, with him being this total badass, shows that maybe maybe instead of Rick and them being scared, maybe it's time for Negan to be scared. You know what I mean? To understand that, hey, look, these fucking people are no fucking joke. You know what I mean? They are ready to fuck shit up. They don't care. They don't care who they hurt in the process. They don't care what it takes. You know what I mean? Like, they are completely fucking ready. So I think, I want to personally, that's one thing I want to see in season 8. I want to see Negan start to lose control of his people. I want him to understand that, hey, this is really serious right now. Like, you are, like, this is gonna be, like, I want to see him actually do, hey, look, this is really what the effects are of what's about to happen. You know what I mean? Like, you've done killed you've done killed Glenn, Abraham, and Sasha. You know what I mean? And you've taken 3 people that were big in, especially Glenn. Glenn was a massive part of the family. So, and my thing is, I honestly don't even want to see Rick kill fucking Negan when Negan actually dies. I want to know if Maggie actually is the one that kills fucking Negan. You know what I mean? Because of him taking Glenn from her. But you already know, most likely what you're going to see in season 8 is, depending on how far ahead they push this whole thing, Maggie being pregnant. You know what I mean? She's still pregnant with Glenn's child. So it's like, can you imagine? So you're gonna have that aspect of the whole situation. You're gonna have Rosita still she's still mourning the death of Abraham. Plus, now her and Sasha became friends. So now you have Sasha. Now that Sasha's dead, Rosita, she's ready to just fuck people's days all up. You know what I mean? I want to know what happens with not the saviors, the kingdom. You know what I mean? Like, what happens to that? You know what I mean? Like, I want to know, is there more? I want to see more of the kingdom. I want to see what they can be a part of. I want to see, it's like, not only does Negan have a massive army, but to be honest with you got to think about it. Rick's got his people, everybody that's in Alexandria, plus you got the kingdom, and then you got the people from what's that other place that where Maggie's been staying? What's that place called?
I forget the name of it, but
you know what I'm talking about. You know, yeah. Plus you have those people. So it's like, and another thing too. Another thing I think is gonna come off is the people that oh shit, what's her name? Tara found. You remember the people that didn't want to be a part of anything? All the women that were there?
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I think they're gonna come into the picture because I think Negan's literally everything's gonna come apart real fucking fast, and I think that this is all going to become very very familiar. But let's take away from the show for a second. Not even for a second, because I want to bring Paul into some of this, because let's talk about the other half that we were talking about, guys, is going to be The Walking Dead, the Telltale games, The Walking Dead. We're bringing the games into the picture. We're bringing the fact that we're bringing the facts that you have all these different characters from the Telltale series that are still representing with The Walking Dead, because Telltale has done episodes with the Michonne, and they've also brought Jesus into the picture. There's been Glenn, there's been Herschel. There's been characters that are in The Walking Dead, the real show, that are in The Walking Dead. So like, I want to see what everybody's thoughts and aspects are of the actual games now. So, Paul, I hear Paul. I hear me echoing, so I guess Paul is here. Paul, this is your podcast. What's up, man? We haven't heard you.
Buddy?
We haven't heard you the whole time because me and Lamont have just been talking about this episode, guys.
I know.
Paul, guys, Paul, the founder of Everything Horror, guys. So let's talk with him now. Let's talk about, and Tessa, if she wants to join in, I would love to have her thoughts on the whole situation too. Let's talk about the Walking Dead games with Telltale, all the way back to Lee and Clementine. Like, what is your guys' thoughts on the games? Because those are phenomenal games. I fucking love those games. What is your guys' thoughts on them? And what is your favorite? Okay, here's the thing. What is your favorite Walking Dead game out of the Walking Dead, the Telltales? What is your favorite one?
For favorite one, oh god, I think I'm gonna have to go with season 2 maybe.
I was gonna say that season 2 is probably. I'm gonna tell you right now, season 2 was probably my favorite one, but the most heartfelt one was the first one, because when you had Lee and Clementine, that relationship, father-daughter bond, man, that was crazy. He pretty much that was sad to see Lee go, but
it made me cry when Clementine had to say goodbye to Lee.
yeah, it touched, man. It touched my feelings. But yeah, Lamont, you said you've never played any of the Telltales, right? When it comes to those?
Not the latest one.
Oh yeah, the latest one. I forgot. Yeah, A New Frontier. I do remember you telling me that. Okay, so what's your thoughts on the Telltale games, man? What's your thoughts on them?
I think they're amazing games. Back when the first season was first announced, and I seen gameplay and stuff like that, I wasn't too sold on it. But after I played the first episode, I'm like, this is some great storytelling here. So I'm getting the feel of the show and the comics inside of a playable game. So I really enjoy them.
Right. Yeah, I completely understand with that one. Tessa, what is your thoughts on the whole Telltale games of The Walking Dead?
Well, the ones that I've played so far, I've actually enjoyed. I still have to play through Michonne and the New Frontier, but I did see the New Frontier played between quite a few of y'all. And I thought it was a really good storyline. I like how we're, following along and watching Clementine grow, which she's actually, one of my favorite characters, actually, because you actually get to see her grow up throughout the Telltale series.
Right, exactly. My question to you guys, and this is an honest question, okay? And to even, like I said, to anybody that's watching this podcast, please leave it in the comments below. I would like to get your guys' thoughts on this. We know now, Telltale has announced that The Walking Dead's coming out, and it's coming out with their final season, okay, of the whole Walking Dead franchise for Telltale. So it's coming to an end for them. What do you think is going to be the next chapter in Clementine's journey, the final chapter in Clementine's journey? Do you see them kind of maybe bringing a character from the TV show in, maybe Rick, or maybe somebody that's big in the show like Maggie, and maybe seeing if they can start aligning up, because to be honest with you, I mean, it also has something to do with the show. Back to the show.
Also, from what I've noticed from the end of the New Frontier, Clementine's in search of AJ.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think it'll continue on with that, and we might see somebody from the TV series come into it. But I think it's gonna continue on with Clementine searching for AJ, because she developed such a strong motherly bond towards AJ.
Right.
That he became family to her, and I think she'll stop at nothing to find him.
Oh, hands down. Hands down, I completely agree with you. My thing is, like you were saying, like, okay, this is the final season of the show, like the TV, not TV show, the game. Um, can you like she finds AJ, they meet somebody. Like, wouldn't it be really cool, like, if maybe like after the Walking Dead, like maybe they're starting to bring characters from the Walking Dead Telltale to the actual TV show, like what if one of the characters in the TV show is Clementine? Like somebody meets and it's Clementine. She's this little girl. And she's this badass little girl who's who's trying to find her purpose. And they start interacting with her with the TV show. And what about AJ and all these people that Javier? Like what if like these characters start appearing in the actual TV show? Like, do you guys think that that's possible? Could you see that happening in the future, or do you think that Walking Dead's gonna kind of keep on their own path of doing their thing, and Telltale's gonna kind of push away into the sunset when Clementine finds AJ?
I could see maybe a possibility of something like that happening, but like you said, like there's always the possibility of Telltale and the Walking Dead series staying completely separate from one another.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always a possibility of a chance, because they could do like a crossover type of thing.
See, that's the thing. I'm supposedly heard that the Michonne was supposed to somehow tie into finding Rick. So I don't know how the Telltale's actually gonna go through with that or what.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, was because they did The Walking Dead Michonne with the Telltale. Are we gonna see Michonne again in season 5? Or not in season 5, in the final season of Telltale's Walking Dead? You know what I mean? Would Michonne be the one that meets up with Clementine? You know what I mean? So it's something that it's questions like that. Are they gonna still link the shit together, or is the whole Michonne thing was like just like kind of like a little side thing that's like, okay, it happened, now it's done, it's in the past? Or are we gonna see more of Michonne? You know what I mean? So I don't know.
It goes back to, well, we don't really know what they're planning, because everybody thought that, well, at least me, I don't know about you guys, but I thought we were going to find Michonne in this latest one, which was the New Frontier, but...
Yeah, I did too.
So I don't really know. I mean, I thought we were supposed to see more with Michonne, but I really honestly do not know what to say about it.
Lamont, what's your thoughts on the thing, man? I know you haven't played A New Frontier, but I'm pretty sure you've played Michonne and the other two. So what's your thoughts of the whole situation?
I'm with you. Maybe she'll come back, but I mean, I completely understand if the whole Michonne game was just its own separate entity of its own, but I think a lot of fans, and it would do like the Telltale series justice if they intertwined in some way. But that's just my 2 cents on it.
Well, yeah, I completely respect that, and I completely kind of agree with you. It's like, I mean, you would think that since Telltale brought characters over from the real show, you would think that maybe the Walking Dead TV show would take a look at, hey, look, Telltale's The Walking Dead is still, has brought all this fan base. Maybe, because there's going to be people that are gamers that are in love with The Walking Dead, that played The Walking Dead Telltales. You would think that maybe, okay, they played these games and it ended. Why don't we make a whole totally surprise, let's make a massive surprise, and let's introduce a character from the Telltale games into the actual TV show. Like I would connect them. I mean, I wouldn't connect them to where like you have to bring everything and but I would say like one character. You know what I mean? Like bring Clementine, or like, as you know, if Clementine's, depending on how old Clementine is at the end of the, you know, season finale of Telltale's Walking Dead, maybe if she's like, how old is she, by the way? How old was she in the Frontier? Do we know?
Teenager, I guess.
Like young teenager, like 13, 14, something like that.
Oh, she looked older than that. She kind of acted older than that. So maybe somewhere between 16, 17, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, I can respect that.
They actually said how long the event took place from the first ever episode of Finding Lee, but I don't think Clementine ever mentioned that.
Well, Gabe, she's about the same age as Gabe from the New Frontier. She was about the same age as Gabe.
Right.
And I'm trying to think how old Gabe was, because I know Gabe was like 8 or 9 in when I was gonna take an estimate, he was like 8 or 9 when their grandpappy or their grandpa passed away. And then like years down the road, Gabe's father went back and kind of did his thing and left everybody, and then Javi. So I was thinking maybe they had to have been, I would say 14, 15, somewhere around that area. So that's where I'm guessing with Clementine. But even then, you don't know how many years the newest one's going to take place. So Clementine at this time it could be 4 or 5 years later, and Clementine's still looking, and then Clementine's got the whereabouts of, you know, AJ, so she could be a complete adult. She could be like 18, 19. And
from what I understand from Telltale is that for this final season, we're gonna make Clementine become the woman that we want her to be. I guess is the way they worded it. So we get to make Clementine either fearless, scared, or whatever, from pretty much from the sound of it. Yeah, people would have to go take a look at the Comic-Con video that they posted, but they pretty much just say like the players are going to be able to make Clementine become the girl that we want her to be.
Right. But here's my question to you about the game then. Do you guys think, because this is the final chapter, do you think Telltale is going to continue their thing to where it's just going to be 5 episodes? Or because this is such an iconic franchise that Telltale has done, do you think they're going to give us more than just 5 episodes?
I think they're going to stick to 5 episodes.
You think so? What about you, Tessa?
How many episodes do you think the new season is going to bring? The final season, I should say.
So how many did we have in the New Frontier? How many was that? Like 5?
Everything's 5. Everything's been 5 from Telltale.
Except for Michonne.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, Michonne was 3.
Yep.
I think maybe if this is going to be like the final series, they might try to do it a little bit longer. I mean, it could go either way. They could either stick with like the 5 episodes, you know, traditionally, or they can kind of like extend it and do like, I don't know, like an episode or 2 more, you know, whatever
Right.
it'll bring it to a close, I think.
Right. And I completely respect that. And the one thing I could say about the Walking Dead Telltale games, that it bugs me, but I can understand why they do it, is they come out with episodes 1. They come out with episode 1 when the game comes out, episode 1, and then it like, because the episodes are like an hour and a half long, it makes it kind of think like you're watching a TV show. You gotta stick out for that anticipation for the next episode come out. And it bugs me about that. It bugs me, but it also doesn't because it keeps me to wanting to come back to play the game, to play that episode again, or to play that game again, because like when the New Frontier came out, I was in. Like I played episode 1, and then you found out that the little girl she was killed, and it ends on there. And then like the anticipation that you didn't think that Kate was gonna make it, and then leading into episode 2, and then all this other. Oh, let me stop, Barry, because Lamont hasn't played yet. My bad, Lamont. I told you spoilers were gonna happen. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Lamont, Barney comes into play in this game. That's all I want to say. Barney comes into play. I don't know what you're talking about. Barney comes into play in this game, but you guys get what I'm saying. You get into the aspects of playing it, and they literally, with the whole coming out, like they make you wait. Like I don't like the fact they make you wait months though. Like, you know, like I feel like there's an episode every like 2.5, 3 months.
But look at like what happened with New Frontier. They premiered 2 episodes right off the bat, right? And then for episode 3, they were like almost close to it being done, but then they scrapped it and started over because like something in the story just wasn't making sense. So we had to wait longer because.
Oh yeah, to see episode 3 come out. Oh my god, it took episode 3. I think it took that 2.5, 3 months alone, just before we got episode 3 of it, right?
Yeah, it was a couple months.
It was definitely a long wait, to do it, but
oh yeah, it sucked.
It did, man. It did, because when I played those games, I was really like, when I play games like that, like I can play. One thing about me, guys, is I can play anything, but my favorite types of games are treasure hunting games or games that have good stories. And to be honest with you, Walking Dead is definitely up there. Anything from Telltale really is up there for me, but The Walking Dead was definitely up there for me. And to be such a big fan of a franchise and a game that's really popular, and for them to actually like make you wait, it gets a little frustrating at times, but when it comes out, you're like, but like you play it, you're super excited about playing it, and then, you know, and then once you're done beating it, you gotta wait some more for the next episode to come out. So it's one of those games where it's good and bad, I guess. It's good because the story is such a great, it's a great franchise, great story, but the sucky part is the waiting, man. I hate waiting. I don't like the wait. I'm so not patient when it comes to that stuff. Like if I'm paying, but I can understand though. It's not like, now I can understand if you're paying $60 for these games, and then it turns out that, you know, you're waiting. Yeah, I can see where people will start getting pissy. Like, no, I paid $60. I want all the content right away. But the games are only, with the game and the season pass, you're only paying like $24, if that. 25. Yeah, you're paying $25 for 5 episodes. So that's $5 an episode. So I can understand what they're doing, but I don't know, man. What would you okay, so we know AJ, we know episodes, or the final season's going to have AJ. You know, they're going to be searching for AJ. But what do you want to see happen in the final season? Like, what do you like personally want to see take place in the final season? Do you want to see different relationships? Do you want to see maybe them bring characters back from the past seasons that are still alive? What do you guys really want to see though?
Or we're gonna be able to put Clementine into a relationship with somebody. We just get to pick who though. So only you can imagine probably the retarded choices or cool choices we may have. But I mean, yeah, we will be able to put Clementine into a relationship with somebody. Just a matter of who.
I mean, I'm trying to think who, because to be honest with you, because Gabe's not alive anymore. He's dead.
My Gabe is.
Wait, what? Your Gabe's alive?
Yep.
Not mine.
Mine is.
Who's not? Who was the other choice? It was Gabe or so you killed off Kate.
What's her face? The girl, the mom. I forget her name right now, but yeah.
How did she die?
Depended on your choices, but from what I've seen, you could have actually saved both of them. But of course, I didn't know how, so of course I fucked that one up. So,
oh no, I think it's really cool that you actually chose to save Gabe. Like I thought it was pretty cool, but with me, Gabe kind of made his own decision, and I kind of stuck with love. Because I mean, yeah, it sucks to lose a kid, but like throughout the whole thing, Kate and Javi's in love.
right.
So it's like I kind of chose with that aspect. So I don't really want to mention a lot more because Lamont's still got to play the game.
Right.
Lamont's like, shit, well, at least I know what happens now. Thank you, guys.
Well, not really, because he can either save both of them or he can just only save one of them, depending on his choice. So it really doesn't say much of anything. But,
true.
Yeah.
I can see that. I'm really interested to see who he actually chooses to save at the end, though. I think that's gonna be hilarious to find out that hey, he chose to save so and so. You know what I mean? I want to get his, and Lamont, I'm gonna want to get your response and to your reasoning why you chose that person when you actually beat the thing. But Paul and Tessa actually, and Lamont, I know I've been doing a lot of talking. Is there any questions you guys got? Because I know I've been pretty much talking this whole time.
Well,
so
I
kind of
knew that people might want to hear if they haven't heard, especially you guys. I mean, so for fans that are fans of the comic books, but I have some sad news for you for the comic book fans. But the comic books for The Walking Dead are officially ending. No more Walking Dead comics.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I am not kidding.
What?
Yep.
What? Hold on. Wait. So when did they announce that?
A couple days ago. Yep, a news article about it somewhere online. You just gotta look for it, but yeah, it's there.
That sucks.
Yep.
Because I was kind of hoping to get into. I was hoping to actually start continuing reading back up with the comics, and then that sucks, man. That they're ending the comics. That's gay. That's gay. I don't even know how many comics there are.
A lot. I think that's probably one reason why they wanted to stop.
Yeah, but it's like but honestly, as much as there is, like as many comics as there are, like if there's a lot, that means you're going to be running the Walking Dead TV show for quite a while if you even think about following the if you're even thinking about following the comics, you know what I mean? Like if you were to follow, because there's characters in the comics that aren't even in the show yet. You know what I mean?
No, they're not even from that's kind of one reason why I stopped the TV show after what was it, season 4, I think. Because they kind of went away from the comic book. They started doing their own thing, which, as you were mentioning when I was kind of listening on mute, that they turned it into a fucking drama show, and that's exactly why I left. Because you kind of saw that coming, that it was heading down that route. And
Well, yeah, it's like, and I brought it up earlier. I was telling Lamont. I mean, if you guys heard it, is the fact of the matter is, there was times where, even not even time. There's still, no matter what, when you watch a show now, when you watch an episode that comes out, you watch them, and you feel like they kill maybe 5 zombies a game, 5 zombies a episode, if that, because it's like, unless it's a massive raid with zombies and they're going ham on them to protect the thing, that's literally the only time you kill zombies. Like, I feel like
more should just be on the fucking drama channel now.
The walking drama.
Like, it's crazy, man. It's like, hey, it's like you have all this stuff, you have all these characters. It's a zombie thing, and then it's all with relationships and taking over territories. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, if it was a zombie apocalypse, I had my group, and literally, it was this. I'd be like, if somebody shows up, if they do wrong by me, I don't give a shit what it is. They're dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have one choice. You have one chance to prove yourself, and if not, then you're dead.
Yep.
You know, you're either with us or you're against us, and if you can't do what we need for you to be with us, I have no problem putting a bullet in your head or stabbing you to death. No problem with that. I know I probably sound like a serial killer right there, but damn, I'm just saying.
No.
That's just how I see the situation. In real life, I'm not going to make this whole thing a drama thing. Oh my god, so-and-so loves you. Guess what?
Wake up and smell the coffee bean.
Right. Love isn't going to save your ass through these zombies, man. I want you to go over there and tell that zombie, look that zombie in the face and tell him that you love him and see if he does not maul your ass to death and eat you. You tell him that. Good luck with that one, you know what I mean? Like, this shit is not fucking real. I don't give a shit. It pisses me off, man. It's like, now, don't get me wrong, like I was telling Lamont earlier, the situation between Glenn and Maggie, I understand that. That is one love that I'm okay with. But when you have Abraham and Rosita and then all these other characters that were in love, Michonne and Rick, like, nobody fucking cares about that. Smash them and smash them, get a nut off. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. Get a nut off and fucking move on. There's none of this, I love you bullshit. Like, that is so not fun to watch. I feel like I'm watching The Bachelor with zombies. That's how I see the whole situation. I feel like I'm watching The Bachelor with zombies. And it's just, it's starting to, and that's what I was telling you, it's starting to literally take my interest. Like, I'm not as excited as I was for all the, for the past seasons. Like, past seasons I was like, oh my god, I can't do this and this on this certain date because I'm going to be glued in front of my TV to watch The Walking Dead. It's like, I don't even, it's like when, okay, Walking Dead's coming back in October, guys, okay. So what's going to happen now? You know what I mean? What's next? I mean, what other drama can you cause? You know what I mean? I feel like as of right now, I feel like the only thing that's drawing me back to The Walking Dead is fucking Negan, because he's a complete badass. That's like literally the only fucking reason why I'm even considering on watching the show, like, or coming back to it, is because Negan is a complete fucking badass. As long as he's wielding Lucille, he runs that show. That's all that matters.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. How much more bullshit drama can the show actually take before you call it an end?
That's, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, man.
Like, okay, so why not just end it? Say that this is the world now, and this is how we're gonna have to survive, and blah blah blah. Just end it. I mean, even if you just say like the military that somehow survived just exploded the earth. I mean, whatever.
That's literally the only fucking thing I can think of. Like, how would you truly end The Walking Dead? I would say, in my opinion, I would say literally find a way to make it to where the nukes are still active, activate all the nukes, and blow the fucking world up. That's pretty much just me. That's just me. I would set off all the nuclear missiles. Because you notice how, like, no missiles have been launched throughout this whole thing, right? Like, nobody has, like, that's what I would do. I'd find somebody, and I'd literally make them hack it, and just, like, literally just call it ends. Just be like, look, this is what needs to happen. The world's getting out of hand. Like, let's just nuke the world and move on to the next life. That's how I see the whole situation. Just nuke it and call it a day.
Yep.
I mean, your best bet. That's literally your best bet. I mean, because what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Run the show into the ground to where you're going to have 25, 80 seasons until the day Rick dies of old age? Who the fuck is going to die off of old age? I'm just saying, the zombie apocalypse, somebody's going to get caught off guard one time. Some zombie's going to eat them and call it a day. Nobody's just going to randomly die off of old age.
Well, if they do anything kind of like what the game did, where somehow people who die can somehow get infected by whatever's in the air, then yeah, I mean, I guess you could do that.
I can see that. I can see that. I mean, I don't know. I just think that the Walking Dead TV show, and don't get me wrong, I am a fan. I am a fan of the show. I am a fan of the show. I am a fan of the aspects of there are zombies in the show, and they are the most ugliest things I've ever seen in my life. I'm a fan of that because I'm a sucker for anything zombie related. But I am not a fan of the drama that show has made and has introduced. Like, I'm not a fan of that. I'm really not. I have my couple characters that I like, and then the rest of them are like, okay, they're here, but it's a soap opera. I feel like I'm like my mom again when I was like 9 or 10 years old, and my mom used to always watch Young and the Restless. I feel like that. I feel like I'm watching a soap opera. Yeah. Just a lot more gruesome soap opera. That's what I feel like I'm watching.
Yep.
So it's got its takes. If The Walking Dead really wants to continue, they want to be a great show, then they need to start eliminate some of these dramas, and they actually need to go back to the aspect of, hey, there's fucking zombies. I want to see brains. I want to see guts. I want to see gore. I don't want to see, oh my god, he died. My life doesn't have any meaning anymore. Oh my god, there's a baby. Oh my god. There's fucking Rick and Michonne having sex. Oh well. I don't want none of that.
The one that like in love with Daryl. She is the fuck out of me.
Who? Carol?
Everything. Yeah, is that her name? Oh,
the old lady?
Yeah, the old lady who like complains about everything.
That's Carol. She is funny. She's funny though. She's fucking hilarious. I love her though. I love her on the aspect that though is like she thinks she like you. I remember in the first and second season. You remember, Lamont? You remember this one? Probably Paul. You probably remember this. You remember in the first, second season where her husband was abusive as fuck to her, and she was scared as fuck. She was scared as fuck. She didn't want anything to do with anybody, and then her husband dies because didn't Rick kill her or didn't Glenn? No, who killed her? Who killed her husband? No, zombies killed her husband. Zombies killed her husband. They got raided in the camp got raided by zombies, and he got mauled to death by a bunch of zombies. And then all of a sudden she dies, or he dies, and it's like I feel like she's just like this total fucking badass. Like she's fucking Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. She's just ready to fuck shit up. She don't care who the fuck it is. She don't give a shit who. But she's a badass. She's a badass. But it just sucks the fact that you don't have more characters like her. Like, she's like the only one. She don't give a shit. She'll go out there and kill zombies. She'll betray people just to stay alive in this world. You know what I mean? Like, she'll pretend to friend people, turn around, stab them in the back. Like, I mean, like the whole prison scene where everybody was coming in sick and all that shit, and she was secretly fucking going up behind people's backs when they weren't looking and fucking knifing them in the head. Like, what was his name? Lamont, Tyrese, that girl that Tyrese loved. And they found out that Carol killed. And Tyrese went on this big ass fucking rampage. I'm gonna tell you the worst season of The Walking Dead. I thought it was kind of creepy at first, but I thought it was kind of cool too. Was it kind of brought in cannibalism with Gareth?
Yeah.
And I was like, and they ate what's his name's what was his name? Bob. They ate fucking Bob's leg there. Bob's waking up and he's missing his leg and everybody's sitting there like yo, that's savage shit right there.
It's kind of like when they brought in cannibalism into what was it, season 1 with with the
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Oh no, that was it season 1?
Yeah, it was episode.
Oh yeah.
2 or
Yeah,
3.
it was like episode 3 or something. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, where they're eating. It turned out, it was and it turned out that they ate some Asian guy's leg or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the Asian guy. I don't remember who it was. I just remember it was like some random.
Oh no, it was the white guy. It was somebody. He was in love with somebody, or she was in love with him, and then it turned out that he got sick and he fucked up his leg, and they said they couldn't save it, so they had to amputate it. Next thing you know, it turns out that they found out what was really going on, and found out that they were eating people.
Yeah.
And I was like,
He found
okay.
out when he went to go wash his hands.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wait, what?
Yeah,
You found out?
like we went to go find the restroom or whatever, so we sneaked up upstairs to figure out what was
Yeah,
going
he found.
on
Yeah,
upstairs.
and he found the guy. He found the guy crawling out of the bed, and he was like, "Help me!" Or he said something about, "Don't eat the meat. Don't eat it."
Yeah.
He's like crawling, like, "Don't eat the meat." And
Yeah.
turns out it's
They're
me.
like, Clementine, don't eat it.
Put it down, you sick bastards! How are you gonna sit there and make us eat people's body limbs? That was crazy. He goes,
Yeah.
we got it. He was like, Lee, you gotta understand, we had to do what we had to do to survive. I'm like, but you sick pricks.
Blah. And it's just like, oh boy.
It's like, you sick fucking pricks, you. I don't want to eat this shit.
Dare you? How dare
Yeah.
you? I want my money back. This is not what I signed up for.
I didn't sign up. Yeah, all I'm gonna say though about Gareth dude,
He got
Gareth got fucked up, yo. Like when Rick was able to fucking kill him, man, yo, Gareth died in the most savage fucking way.
Yep.
Did you see did you at least watch the Walking Dead? What was that? No, it was season 5. That was season 5 with Gareth eating people. Yeah, that was season 5, yeah. I remember that. That's crazy though, man. That was crazy. But I mean, at the end of the day, but that's the shit that's the kind of shit that was kind of cool with it. It was you had to people were trying to survive. People were trying to survive and they were eating people. That's the type of shit and you turning them into zombies and all this other bullshit. That's the type of shit that you needed. Like, I'd rather watch that than watch, oh my god, I fucking love you. Oh my god.
18 weeks.
Oh my god. I want to have y'all baby. I don't want that shit. I want to see somebody eat the fuck out of somebody and then turn around and take a fucking machete to the fucking skull. That's what I want to see. That's the type of shit that I want to see. And in the process, I want to see people get fucked up.
Yep. But once again, it goes right back to how much more drama can they really do?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really know if there's anything else we can really talk about because I think we've pretty much said everything. I think, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Does anybody else have anything they want to talk about it?
Babe, is there anything you want to talk about?
No.
Kind of covered it all?
Yeah, kind of covered it all. Like, if I played, like, the game, like, the New Frontier and Michonne myself, I'd probably have more to talk about, but I haven't gotten to those yet. We've kind of been distracted with Hidden Objects games.
Oh, that's completely fine. All right, Lamont, you got anything to say? You done?
Yeah, I'm finished. I got
All right.
The New Frontier is the only one I have to play.
Right. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for being a part of this special episode of Everything Horror. It was covering The Walking Dead. Like I said before, this was an episode that we've wanted to make for quite a while now, that we just haven't found the best time to do it until recently, when we just said, hey, guess what? We're kind of just going to do it. Get it over with. So I want to thank, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank Paul and Tessa, as always, for letting me commandeer their podcast for this special episode. I want to thank Lamont for being a part of this podcast with me and having a conversation with me about The Walking Dead, of the show that we all enjoy, well, that me and him enjoy. And I enjoyed talking about those games too, because in my opinion, the games are just as good. Well, not just as good. They're a little bit better than the show right now. So, I'm really happy that I was able to sit down and have a discussion about that. But before we dip out, as always, Lamont, where can people find you?
Twitch and YouTube at Lightspeedsonic.
All right. And Tessa, what about you?
My PSN is RedQueen_85, and I'm also on Twitch.
Yep. And Paul, as much as I would want to say this, usually I'm the one that goes before you, but Paul, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me at pretty much everywhere at
I'm also on Twitch.
E8 Podcasts. My PSN is Devil Thunder. I think that's pretty much it. Just look up Everything Horror or go to everythinghorror.podbean.com and you'll find all the links there.
Yep. And as always, you guys know where to find me. Twitch.tv/SkyHighGaming28. You can also find me at Twitter at SkyHighGaming28. You guys can find me on YouTube at Sky High Gaming. Just look for my logo, the matching logo. Yeah, guys. Like I said before, it was an honor to be a part of this podcast and to take it over. I felt like a complete douche for commandeering this episode for my buddy Paul and Tessa, but it feels so good. So at the end of the day, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, Paul, Tessa, Lamont, say it with me. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but 1, 2, 3. Stay scary.